this devastating sadness, and I know that my pain as an Indigenous person is still nowhere near the pain of the particular community, those families whose family members are in those unmarked graves, that, those children that never came back. I can't imagine that kind of deep pain and suffering for those families and what they're going to be going through as they go through that process of having to identify those children and those bodies and potentially eventually learning what happened to them. This is really extremely traumatizing. And for those survivors, those other children who survived the schools and remember those classmates, this is such a huge ripple effect. We don't want to have more memorials. We don't need to have more apologies. What we need to have is a change in how the Canadian government treats Indigenous children. My grandmother was in the residential schools and all of her siblings. For her, she was still at the very end of her life unable to talk about it, and because of the trauma and because of that experience. I really hope people are starting to understand the devastation, the lifelong devastation that would have on a family. As hard as it is, it's important that we talk about it. It's what we all have to do. Is we can't stop at the grieving point. We have to use that to keep us motivated to change things so that those children right now who are in the care of the child welfare system, that we can make a change in those situations, that we can bring all of our children home and change the circumstances so that we're not still having this conversation, a few generations from now.